Hey everyone, Dan here. We are on Tuesday night, June 29th. We're going to do an updated look at Paysafe today. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also, I'm going to try to put out some of these quick, shorter videos. Let me know how the sort of format works. Is it not enough info? Is it just a really nice quick hitter and allows me to put out more videos in a shorter period of time? Or just let me know what you think, if these are useful, especially in stocks that we're recapping or that only have really like a chart component to them. I don't think that they often need to be 10, 12, 15 minutes long. You can probably chart through and get it out the door in 6, 7 minutes, something like that. So let me know what you think of that in the comments below. So Paysafe, I did a video on, I guess, a few weeks ago at this point. I've been in this one for a while. I've been wheeling it. So full disclosure there. But obviously, Paysafe is in this sort of like longish term down channel that it's recently shaken loose, maybe. It's doing a very typical thing that we see often when something leaves a long-term channel, it immediately heads back down for it. It's this sort of like, dilemma that it has. Do I flee the nest or to safety, or do I go back to my, bad dwellings that I just tried to leave? And so it's sort of like at a decision point right now, in my opinion, on what it's going to do. Also, it does have these relatively recent gaps that it has exposed. So the question is, is it going to make any effort to fill those? It does do this, semi-frequently. We see gaps here. Like this one, for example, was even older, and that one was never filled. So I wouldn't be shocked if these gaps don't really play a factor. Gap filling is a real thing, but it's a stock by stock kind of situation, and either a stock is a common gap filler or it's not. And even common gap fillers sometimes will just leave gaps unfilled. But the sort of pattern that you should recognize is that it most often fills them. So Paysafe doesn't really look like it fits that criteria to me, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. I worry just more about, can it bounce off of this upper bound of the trend line right now and just get some distance from it. It doesn't even need a big bounce, even just sort of like a consolidation move that moves it sideways, because sideways even still increases the distance between the upper bound of that channel and where the price is. And that's what it needs, is just distance, leave this pattern behind, and then figure out the next move, even if that's consolidate for a while and then choose a direction. So for price targets that I would look for beyond just leaving this channel, there is a lot of support and resistance here. We see these resistance and support here. And so this should be a good channel for it to try to like keep out. Sorry, this should be a good price point for it to try to keep out of the channel and bounce right there. If it can't hold that, I would look for right about here, all of this resistance, previous all of this support. Those would be my two immediate zones, and then we'll put one more in because it's just hanging out there, pretty obvious, then 1105. So basically, look for it to definitely hold above 11. Problem is, if it comes down to that 1105, it would need a big bounce to really get itself out of the channel and like make a higher high above this like 1338. Otherwise, it's just going to probably get sucked down into the channel. It's a really clean chart on Paysafe, which is what I've always liked about it. I mean, you see support, 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 and then resistance, resistance, current resistance. So 1269 is the current battle in my estimation. It needs to flip that from resistance to support, and then it will have the motion to sort of like start to get something going. 1328 is the next good stop along the way, and then basically we're about here, 1431. So there is, for a stock that's so low priced, these are some good spreads in the distance between friction points on its way up. It's only stopping once every dollar mark once it gets into the high 12s. Then it has stops at 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s, and then we can chart beyond that if and when it earns it. So, but that's what I would look for the near term. Ditch this channel, get above these price targets and continue on. Well, I guess while we're here, I mean, these are just so obvious, I might as well throw them in just so that we have them in case I don't get back to Paysafe, you know, in a time frame in which it needs or requires these price targets to the upside. But those are the ones that I would continue to look for to the upside. Quick look at the indicators. RSI right now sitting just below the midpoint, so this little drag down that it's had today, you know, got it well off of the overbought territory that it was in before. It's done a really good job. You know, another way to consider playing this is running from oversold to overbought to oversold. I guess it depends how close to overbought you want to get. You might want to scrunch these to 60 and 40 or something like that, 65 and 35. But it does, you know, have a pretty good consistent pattern with that, though sometimes it falls abysmally short. So something to maybe keep an eye on, see if you can pick it out maybe in a different time frame. It's a little bit more consistent. So bearish crossover right now in the MACD, again, need to make sure that it doesn't drag it down below that 1171 and suck it back into that down channel. That'll be the most important thing here, but the bullish momentum at the moment has completely died down, just kicking off some bearish momentum to the degree to which that will continue to play out. All right, well, good luck if you're in Paysafe. I wish you the best, and I hope your trading week is going well. Feel free to share these videos if you enjoy them. I would appreciate that a ton. Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, what have you. And also there's a few links in the description below if you want to explore a couple of other things that I have down there for you. Okay, thanks a bunch. I will see you in the next video.